Yeah, man, you alright? I was just taking some notes of some things. Right, so you need to have them four ingredients on you to be able to cook the meth, yeah? You also need the fan and the table, yeah? Right, so what you want to do is you want to get yourself in an appropriate place like here. You then want to drag the table over to use, and then it will show up in your eyes and you can move around where you want to place it. And if you look at your buttons, it's left to place it, right to discard. You'd never want to discard it or we're fucked. So as soon as you place it down, you walk up to it, you flex your E muscle on it where it says open table. And then you go into check status, that's the first option. You click on the table fan and then it will say installing table fan. Perfect. As soon as you've got the table fan installed, you flex E on the table again. And then in your eyes, it should say that you're starting to cook. So when you go to check recipe, as long as you've got the required items that it's asking for per single cook you're doing, then you'll be able to start the process and it will tell you in the top left of your eyes. So what does it say? Does it say starting to cook? 10. Yeah. Right, so this is very important. When you start it, you then have a 5-minute countdown timer, yeah? What you've got to do is when you can go into the table and you can check stats at the top, yeah? See where it's got time cook 1 minute. So when, right, so you don't ever want to check the product until the 5 minutes is up, exactly 5 minutes. So what you need to do is exactly after 3 minutes, you have to keep coming out and going back in and checking, and it'll eventually say time cooked 3 minutes. As soon as you get to 3 minutes, you have to add water by clicking on add water in the menu. So that's to cool the cook down. If you don't do that, the cook gets too hot and it explodes. So water always at 3 minutes every time you do it. And then at 5 minutes is when you want to check the product. And as soon as you check the product at 5 minutes, it gives you 20 LSD in your pocket. As soon as that's done, we'll wait. And then because there's another bit to it I've got to show you.
Yeah, as soon as you're at 5 minutes, it should be on 33 degrees exactly.
Yeah.
That's when you take it off.
If you forget about it or you do what I've done earlier, the table just blows up. And if you've not got clips, then yeah. So once you've started that recipe and it's cooking, really you've got 3 minutes to do whatever you want to do in this room. But you've got when it gets to that 3 minutes, you have to add the water by clicking on add water. You haven't got to drag and drop water or anything like that. Just literally click on add water. It adds the water after the 3 minute. And then as soon as the cook gets to 5 minutes, that's when you want to check the product instead of check recipe.
You don't have your mask on though for some reason.
I think it's glasses that are the problem.
Works for me.
So now you're just waiting for the 5 minutes to be up. So you just have to, all I do is I'll either set a timer on a web page on Google for 5 minutes, or I'll just keep going and checking. The web page is helpful because it gives you an audible thing when the 5 minutes is up. Yeah. Yeah, it might be.
I can try and give him mine. I tried giving him Triss the fit a while ago, but females don't have it, so.
Yeah, he is. I can
Feeling
see
weird.
his. Yeah.
That's so strange.
That's so weird.
I wouldn't mind if I do the slash mask. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
It just does the. Oh. Oh. Invisible mask. All right. Oh,
No,
no,
his health's not going down.
Yeah, good.
So when you keep checking stats at the top, as soon as that hits 5 minutes, you want to check the product and it will give you the 20 LSD. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to do this one, Cook. Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 5 minutes.
Right, so now check the product.
Shit, who's checking the product?
Right, so now what happens is you flex E on the table again and you pick up the table. And then basically you have to do all of that process again for another 20 LSD.
Best thing to do as well is make sure you've got like two slots in your fingers. I usually just press my tab muscle, and then you'll see it just makes it so much easier as long as the LSD table goes into your fingers. I literally I can just force it into, like if I want it to go into 5, then I'll force it into 5, and then I'll just rinse and repeat it. It makes it so fast.
Oh, big dirty grass. Poor fucker got caught.